Hey folks, one of the most frequent questions that I guess from my friends who are looking to buy a Tesla is which configuration would you recommend? That's a very easy answer for me. Um, there's one configuration of Tesla which I really envy. I have a Model 3 which I really love, but when I see this particular configuration that I'm going to share about, I actually envy it. I would like to trade in whatever I have for this one. It's the Tesla Model Y 7-seater with a towing package and the smaller wheels. There are specific reasons why I'm going for this package, and I think this is the best car there is out there. Um, because number one, it's a family car, it's a CUV, and a minivan. It's not the perfect of each of them, but it brings the most important elements of each of those models into one package as one vehicle. So for anybody who's starting off a young family, or somebody who's expecting a few guests visiting them, or somebody who has a pet, this is by far, I think, nails down most of the requirements. And I'll go one by one. Number one, it's a 7-seater. So it competes against a minivan in terms of size and volume. It's very true that the third row seat is not as comfortable as a regular minivan's third row seat, but that's okay, because this third row seats is only going to be used in an emergency situation when you need it for a short duration. And keep in mind, nobody is driving in a Tesla for more than 2.5 hours at a stretch. You'll have to stop, take a break, and that's enough time for anybody who's in the third row seat to stretch their legs and be done with it and get some blood circulation going with the legs. That's one. Um, as a family car, the second row seat can actually slide forward and backward, which means that the second row has more leg space than most other configurations, including the Tesla Model Y 5-seater. So this is going to be a far more comfortable car than most other cars out there. In terms of capabilities, this is an excellent car by itself. No need to get into that. So that's that. So we've covered the minivan aspect of it, the family car aspect of it, and as a CUV sitting stance. When you actually sit down in the driver's seat or in the front passenger seat, your seating position is very comfortable. And even when you get into the car, you actually slide into the seat rather than climb into the car or crouch down into the car. So this is very, very nice as well. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed having a CUV when my kids were young is how I could lift up the car seat and put them into their base in the second row. That is quite difficult in a bigger SUV because you'll have to lift them higher up, and also it's kind of more difficult in a minivan because you'll have to extend your arm much further in. Most people think this is just okay, but if you do it a few thousand times over a few years, your arm is going to show. These are some real compromises that people make. So for these reasons, I think the Tesla Model Y 7-seater is a great combination of minivan, a regular sedan, and a CUV. Now, the other thing that people think is, as a 7-seater, it's really cramped, and we can't see the full use of this over the years. But reality is, most of us are having parents or elder folks who are visiting us, and that's when we use the third row seat. As time progresses, as our children grow bigger and they cannot fit in the third row seat comfortably, is about the time when we are not seeing our parents visit us as much. That is when the time is really to go rent a minivan for the occasional purposes, Otherwise, this one 7-seater Tesla 7-seater fits most of the requirements. So that's my opinion. Now, what makes it even better is the towing package. When you have the towing package on this car, it opens up the versatility. You have to really think about putting in a bike carrier on it, or a tow hitch, pulling a small trailer from Home Depot for whatever it is, for $1,000 or a small upgrade fee. It really unlocks the potential for your car. So that's another highly recommended feature that I would like. And finally, I recommend the smaller wheels on the 7-seater Tesla Model Y. The reason is, once you have a smaller wheels, the wheel has more travel up and down when you hit a bump, which means it got a smoother ride. The only reason where you can think of for not going for a smaller wheel is when you really care about performance and handling. If you really want to care about performance and handling, you should be looking at the Model 3 or a Model S. Just the shape of the Model Y, you have compromised on the performance capabilities, and on top of that, you want to eke out some extra performance because of stiffer wheels. I don't think that's a very good idea. I'd rather have a longer, more sustained, smoother ride with smaller wheels all around, because they got more travel when you hit a bump. That's what you got to think about. So that's my recommendation. It is by far the right now, I think it's the only recommendation I would make for the Teslas. It's a Model Y 7-seater with the smaller wheels and a tow hitch. Tell me what you think about it. Thank you.